Okay, so we are, as we all know, we are very quickly approaching the big detox period of the whole year. We are very close to our Christmas party season, where everybody's going to be overindulging in lots of things that they shouldn't be overindulging in. More so now than any other time of the year. That's not to say people don't do it all through the year, because they do, but just around Christmas time and New Year's Day, that is the period where people really hammer the bad habits. That's why they come into January and with all the great intentions, and they really want to rectify all their wrongs, and put everything right. Unfortunately, people go about it the completely wrong way. So before we get to there and you waste any more money on systems that are either going to not work, or waste your time, waste your money, and actually cause the body more stress than what you actually think it is, I just want to tell you to stop what you're doing right now. And just listen to this video where I'm going to explain to you exactly what detox is, and why you've been completely misled for so long, probably for so many years you've been misled, and you've probably wasted a lot of money in the process. First, let me tell you a little bit about me. Well, my name's Kate Eaton, for those of you who don't know me, and I'm a nutrition and lifestyle coach, and I specialise in immune and inflammatory health related issues. And I have over 16 years specialising in this. The system I teach and follow has dramatically changed my life. So I'm confident that I can help you change your life as well. I suffered with the advanced stages of Crohn's disease, and I battled tirelessly with all the various drugs, and they all failed miserably. And on face value, I was doing everything right. So in fact, even everything I'm going to teach you in here, from the minute I was diagnosed, most of it I was doing, all the healthy eating elements of it, I was doing before I was diagnosed, because obviously I was already doing nutrition. So as regarding eating healthily goes, I was always eating healthily from the minute I started doing my training, many moons ago. and I always had a juice or a smoothie every morning. Where things shifted a little bit after I was diagnosed was my lifestyle aspect. So I really brushed on that. So literally my diet and my lifestyle was squeaky clean, yet I was still deteriorating rapidly. And it took me hitting rock bottom for me to realise that I needed to up my game. I needed to do something very different, and I needed to understand exactly what made the body tick. As a result of that, I've now enjoyed a symptom and drug-free life for over 6 years. Now that is amazing compared to where I was, and I was on and off steroids every 4 months. I was close to needing surgery. My life wasn't my own. I was housebound for 2 months at my worst, and I lost my business. My life was just taken over by illness, and that was because I didn't understand exactly what made the body tick. So I know what I can teach you can change your life. So it doesn't matter whether you have an existing health condition, or whether you're serious about working on a preventative measure to safeguard yours and your family's health. It doesn't matter what your goal is, or your what's driving you to make changes to your diet and your lifestyle. The same principles apply. The only thing that differs slightly is when you're already riddled with a problem, is you have no room for flexibility. You have no room for negotiation. You have no room for any mistakes. Whereas when you're not chasing your tail all the time, and when you're not currently compromised with your health, then you have room for a little bit of compromise here and there. But that doesn't mean to say you can have massive compromise. Now, the exact same principles I teach also allowed my mum to dramatically extend her life expectancy by many, many years, but whilst battling two very aggressive cancers. One of them was the HPV virus, and when the immune system's compromised and it's not containing that virus, what it does is it switches off what's called the P53 protein, and the P53 protein is responsible for suppressing cancer cells. So when that's switched off, cancer cells are just left to run riot because there's nothing there to suppress it. The other cancer that she had was a genetically driven issue, and that was driven by the HER2, the overexpression of the HER2 protein, and that essentially encouraged more cancer cells to grow at a rapid rate of knots, because the HER2 receptors latch onto the cancer cell and they instruct it to stay alive. So it's a battle of wills between the immune system telling the cancer cell to stay alive, to die, and these HER2 receptors telling the cancer cell to stay alive. So it's a battle of wills as to which one wins. So essentially, my mom, she shouldn't have lasted 14 years, and she did. And in the end, my mom didn't die of her cancers. She died of the negative effects of the conventional treatments, which actually weakened her heart, and her heart stopped suddenly. Which was brought about by other complications, but needs to say, if the heart had been strong enough, it would have been able to deal with those issues, and because it wasn't, it just stopped. Okay, so I know that what I can teach you can really, really help you, but you really have to understand the nuts and bolts as to what makes the body tick, and to understand why everything else you currently believe around detox is all fabrication. It's just all complete lies. So let's move on. So before I do move on and explain to you, let's just look at there's only two routes. There's a long-term solution and there's a short-term solution. Now most of these on the short-term solution here, you have been engaging in maybe on and off throughout the year. Maybe you do them just every January. Maybe you do some of them consistently. But nevertheless, they are short-term solutions. So this can be 5-day, 10-day, 30-day juicing programs. Even if you juice and smoothie consistently every single morning, that is not going to detox you. Detox teas, and some people will do those for 30-day periods. That's what they generally tend to promote on the boxes. 30 days of no alcohol. So typically you'll see cancer research promoting the triathlon January, and loads of people will be engaging in that, particularly because they've overindulged in lots of alcohol over the Christmas period, and it's kind of easing their guilt around that area, I suppose. But that's a short-term fix, obviously. Taking detox supplements, or taking any supplements for that matter, in order to detox the body. Colon cleanses, stopping sugar for a set period of time, stopping carbs. There's an endless amount of things that people engage in for a short period of time, but none of those are going to give you long-lasting results, and none of them are going to detox the body and rectify all the wrongs that have occurred because of your bad habits. There's only one long-term solution, and I'm going to I'll cover that at the end, because it's important that you understand the nuts and bolts as to how things work, and it'll fall into place for you naturally once I've explained it all. So let's have a look at free radicals and antioxidants, and how the two of those impact the healthy cells and cause cell damage. Okay, so you'll understand why antioxidants are important. Antioxidants are important. They are crucial to maintain good health. So you've got a free radical cell here. Okay, now a free radical cell, if you count these electrical molecules here, you've got an uneven amount around it. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's an uneven number. Now, if you look here, you've got your healthy cell. Okay, he's not looking a bit scared at the moment, because he's very scared of this free radical that's coming up to steal an electron from it. So it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's got an even amount of electrons around it. Okay. Now, what a free radical does is, a free radical is wanting to, it's an unstable cell essentially, and it's what it's wanted to do is it's wanting to gain this extra electrical atom that it's missing, to make it a stable cell. Okay, so what it does is it goes up to these our healthy cells, and it says, I'm going to steal one of these from you. Okay, but it's still a free radical isn't going to so although it may become a stable cell, it's not going to assist in our immune response. Okay, it's only our regular healthy cells that will assist in our immune response process. So it becomes a stable cell without any use, so to speak. Okay, so it's a stable cell that's useless to us. Now you've got your healthy cell, which does have a job. This is what protects you from viruses, and this is what identifies cancer cells. So these have really important jobs to play, to do every single day. Okay, so now that it's an unstable cell, it becomes weaker at doing its job. Then another free radical cell comes along and steals another one, and another one, and another one, and another one, and another one. And eventually, not only weakens that immune response, eventually also damages the DNA structure of that healthy cell. So not only is it less responsive because it hasn't got the fuel it needs to fire on all cylinders, it's also behaving erratically, and potentially going to attack the body internally. Now, where antioxidants come into play, okay, this is your very generous, friendly antioxidant, and it comes up and it donates. So if you see here, it has all these atoms around it, these molecular atoms around it, and it very kindly donates them to the free radical. So now, all of a sudden, this free radical is no longer a threat. Yes, it's a cell that doesn't have a purpose, but it's not a threat to you, because it's not stealing anything off your healthy cells, and weakening weakening how well they're going to do their job. Okay, so antioxidants play a really, really important part in our day-to-day life, and they are super, super, super important. Okay, so let's have a look at the different types of antioxidants. So you can see here, we've got an antioxidant pyramid, and at the top here we've got SOD, catalase, and glutathione peroxidase. Now these are our inbuilt antioxidants that the body produces naturally. So you see that the body's really, really clever. It has everything, pretty much everything it needs to function day to day. Okay, to assist the immune response process. Now, below here, you've got your dietary antioxidants. Now, these are the ones that you would typically refer to. Now, although they are antioxidants, absolutely, like any pyramid, the further up the pyramid you go, the more effective something is. The further down you go, the less effective it is. Okay, so if we're talking about SOD, SOD is your frontline defense. It's super quick off the mark. Downside to SOD is it quickly becomes tired, and that's why we have catalase that comes up behind it, and passes and sort of takes over the job of donating those atoms to the free radicals. And glutathione peroxidase then comes up behind catalase when that becomes a bit tired. Now, the problem with your dietary antioxidants is, obviously, I mean, such as coenzyme Q10 would be relatively quick off the mark, would be quicker than what vitamin C would be. Okay. Now, it's quite ironic because most people would take vitamin C to prevent colds and flus and to assist the immune system. So as you can see now, vitamin C is totally ineffective when it comes to stopping colds and flus. Yeah. But the other downside to the dietary antioxidants is they become quickly saturated. So they quickly get flushed out through the system. So not only are they slow to react, but they are getting flushed out before they're having a chance to react potentially. The only one that could potentially react is, say, coenzyme Q10 and vitamin E, and that's why you tend to find these two things are put into skincare products, because it's actually been absorbed into the epidermis, so it's actually not, it's getting to the cells within the skin relatively quickly, so long as the product is processed in a particular way. Now, that's a completely different topic entirely. We're not even going to get onto that at the moment. But yes, so dietary antioxidants are completely ineffective. Now, that's not to say your vitamins and your minerals are not to be consumed on a daily basis. They are, because they are super important to your health, but not for the purpose of being an effective antioxidant and protecting our healthy cells. Each vitamin and each mineral has its own independent function. So, for example, I mean, I'm not going to go through every single vitamin and mineral in this video because I would be here forever. But just to give you a bit of an example, you've got to show you how a sort of a chain reaction can go on here, and how one works in with another. You've got vitamin B12, which helps helps the body reproduce fresh red cells. You've got iron, which helps the body produce hemoglobin within those red cells. So if any of you have ever been told by the doctor that you're a bit anemic and to up your iron levels, well, that's why they've said it, because it's going to increase the amount of hemoglobin that's produced, and hemoglobin helps oxygen travel through the body. But if you can take as much vitamin C as you like, but as much iron as you like, but if you are deficient in vitamin C, iron is not going to bind, it's not going to absorb, which means it's not going to affect the hemoglobin that's produced. So you can see where certain vitamins and minerals working together to perform certain roles. So they may not perform a role directly, but by assisting something else do a certain job, it is still important to consume it. There's certain vitamins that are important for energy production. There's certain vitamins that are important for brain function. Certain vitamins don't really get saturated quite a lot quicker. So you can see, so a lot of the B vitamins get saturated quite quickly through the body. So this is a big problem for the body in terms of B vitamins, because they do get saturated super quickly. They have to be replenished every single day. Whereas all the other vitamins, your body can sort of manage okay, sort of maybe for a day or so, But B vitamins, they need them every single day like clockwork. So certain B vitamins are very, very important for your energy production. So you can see there where, although they are not an effective antioxidant, all your vitamins and all your minerals are super important for their own individual purpose. And I say some of them tie in with another vitamin or another mineral's function, and without it, it can't perform its job neither. So yes, they are important, but not for the purpose that most people take them for. Now, the other thing I would say to you in terms of your vitamins and your minerals, now I always encourage people to, wherever possible, to get them from the food that they eat. But if you are, unless you are deficient in something, seriously deficient in something, and we can't increase it naturally through the food that we're eating, then I would recommend to somebody to supplement it. But if you do want to take a shortcut and you do want to supplement it, please make sure that you are absorbing it. So that means you need to be maximising the absorption of those vitamins and minerals, that vitamin and mineral supplement, by consuming it in liquid form. So you can get vitamin drops, you can get vitamin sprays, and that would be the process that I would advise you to take them in. Now, the only one that you can't get them in a liquid form or a drop form is vitamin B1. Okay, so in that instance, I always say to people to crush the tablet and then put it into a juice or a smoothie and consume it that way. So you're maximising that absorption and you're not relying on the gut to break it down and absorb it through the gut. The other thing that you need to bear in mind is, if you do want to take that shortcut, is make sure that you are giving the body all the vitamins and all the minerals that it needs. So so let's say then, if the body does such a great job and it's got its own built-in antioxidant process, why do we get ill? Well, the simple fact is that how we produce free radicals is we produce some naturally, and that's why we have the natural aging process. If we didn't produce them, and we didn't get any cell damage whatsoever, then we'd all stay forever young, and we'd never ever age, and we'd never ever die, and we'd live forever and ever and ever. Okay, and considering we know that doesn't happen, that's why it makes sense that we produce free radicals naturally. Okay, so you've got your internal free radicals that the body produces, okay, through the aging process, and that is what our inbuilt primary antioxidants are there to serve, to reduce and slow down that aging process. Now, where it struggles is, as we age as well, the SOD and the catalase comes a little bit sluggish. It's not that we stop producing it; we always produce it. It just comes a little bit sluggish, and then poor diet completely hinders glutathione peroxidase production. Completely hinders it entirely. And then when you compound that problem with poor diet and lifestyle choices, which contribute to oxidative stress, free radical production, cell damage and inflammation, then it just makes the body's job even harder than it needs to be. So you're producing more free radicals than the body's internal antioxidant network can cope with, essentially. Okay, so there's more bad stuff going in that the body can produce, that the body can deal with. Okay, so as we've just seen here, so the contributing factors to oxidative stress is caffeine, alcohol, smoking, mental or physical stress. All these things are going to contribute to free radical production in the body, as well as the environmental factors as well. Now, also inflammation. Inflammation is going to cause additional cell damage. So not only have you got your free radicals causing cell damage, you've got inflammation from your lifestyle factors also causing cell damage. So coffee and tea, these will all cause inflammation. Carbonated drinks, acidic foods and drinks will cause inflammation. Excessive levels of sugar will cause inflammation. Processed foods will cause inflammation, and food intolerances and allergies, which is a big one that is missed by lots of people. food intolerances and allergies are something that you really need to keep on top of because they can change all the time. So if you are consuming a food that is causing inflammation, then that is going to just make life very, very difficult for you in terms of maintaining your health. Because your body's constantly going to be chasing its tail, and it isn't going to be in a position to put those internal flames out and reduce that inflammation accordingly. So that's something that you really need to get a handle on as well. Now let's just have a look at some of the telltale signs that the body may be struggling to cope. You've got weight gain or fat gain, insulin resistance. If you've been diagnosed with diabetes, that would be an indication the body's struggling. If you're feeling tired or lethargic, that will be an indication. You've got digestive issues, any skin reactions, frequent colds and flus, that would indicate that that your body's struggling to cope, and joint pain as well. They would all indicate that the body is struggling somewhere to cope. So as I just said, there's only, as I said at the beginning, there's a long-term solution and there's a short-term solution. And we covered why the short-term solution does not give you lasting results. The long-term solution is turning your bad habits into consistent good habits. And that's going to reduce the workload that the body has to contend with on a daily basis. And then giving the body the right tools to assist and enhance the body's natural functions. That's the other thing that you need to look at. So the best advice I can give you is to educate yourself on the best way to address your diet and lifestyle factors, so that you're not causing too much stress and overwhelm to the body, and understanding what foods have what benefits and how those benefits can help and assist the body's natural functions, to get the body working a bit smarter than what it is at the moment. So as I said, we want to do two things. We want to reduce the body's workload and we want to get it working smarter. And to do that in a way where you do not cause any more compromise to the body, you have to educate yourself on that process. And that's what I developed the Get Healthy Bootcamp for. It is designed in a way to ease you through a process of turning bad habits into consistent good habits. And we'll work through those in set challenges. And we'll tackle a different thing, a different topic at different stages. You'll also have resources and tools inside there to refer to. So don't worry if you forget something. You've got those resources there to help you and refer to any time. You've also got some video tutorials in there. You've also got an accountability group which you can get access to, for daily accountability and motivation. You will also get access to a weekly Q&A. So if you have any questions whatsoever that come up while you're on the programme, then you can just email them across to me and I'll cover them in the Q&As. And you also get a habit creating book, which is a printed book which you'll receive in the post, and that's what you can see here in the picture. And what this is designed to there's certain things. So the habits are one thing. So the habits and within the challenges are one thing, and then you've got a whole different set of habits that you need to develop every single day to make sure that the body is getting what it needs consistently every single day. And these are what I would categorize as the bare essentials that the body needs every single day, like clockwork. And you have to build that into your daily routine so it becomes second nature. You don't have to think about doing it. It just happens naturally and automatically. And that only happens by repetition. And that's why I developed this book, to help you track and monitor what you're doing on a daily basis, what you're doing on a weekly basis, and monitor your progress as well. Because there's certain things that you need to really keep an eye on as well while you're going through this process. So it is a really useful tool that I've put together here. And what I'd like to do is I'd like to offer you a 3 weeks trial, which will give you access to the first challenge, and the resources that go along with that challenge. You'll get instant access to those. And then if you want to continue on to it, you can do. And that'll just enable you to continue to benefit and improve the health of you and your family. So to get started, just go to the web address you can see in this slide, and I look forward to seeing you inside the program.